Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the cruising show here on Northern Viking Explorer. You can watch us here on Northern Viking Explorer. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on Twitter. And you can even listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform under the cruising show, or just head on over to thecruisingshow.com. That'll take you to our website where you can find it as well. If you're new here, my name is Ken. I'm here with my wife, Andrea. And today we are going to be discussing the cruise port of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico.
Oh, I'm so glad you're all joining us. We love to talk cruising so much that I know we have annoyed all our family and friends. So we're glad that you're here today to talk cruising with us. And something ironic happened this morning, and I thought Ken should just share really quick because it's pretty funny.
Well, the software we use to do this streaming somehow would only go into Spanish. And since we're talking about Cabo, maybe that's why. So everything was in Spanish. Maybe I should brush up on my Spanish for next time we go to Mexico. But we figured it out. I used a different browser, and now it's in English.
That's all
good. So welcome aboard, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for the cruising show. And we love Cabo San Lucas. I think we'll just dive right into it.
Yeah.
If you would like to say things in the chat, we'd love for you to join us, and we can pop comments up on the screen and talk about them as well, as long as there's not too many, but we're able to kind of bring your interactions into the show as well. So let's dive right into the cruise port of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Now, I think we wanted to start out, Andrea, with good to know.
Yeah.
Cabo San Lucas, good to know. Do you want to dive into this?
Yeah, just some quick things. Like, they will, obviously they take pesos because it's Mexico, but they will accept American money. We highly recommend, though, bringing smaller denominations so it's easier to make change, because you may get pesos back, and if you're not wanting pesos, there might be some advantages to bartering in pesos, but we keep it pretty simple. We keep especially a lot of US ones. So it's just
ones and fives.
So I'm not too worried about making change. It keeps it simple.
Well, yeah, because it's nice if you don't, especially if it's your last port day. Like for us, the last time we were there, it was our last port day, and other times it's been our first. If you don't want to bring home a whole bunch of pesos, maybe if you spend American dollars, smaller denominations, you can get less change to bring home. Yeah. So, and that's a really good point. Just small bills is a great idea. And the other thing that we should mention, most of the vendors, or many of the vendors, do speak English. So it wasn't hard to communicate with people, or at least minimal English, I would say, so you can communicate. So that was a really nice thing.
Makes it easy because we don't speak Spanish. So
now I have to learn so we can use this software properly.
We should, but we don't.
So you want the next one?
Cabo is located at the most southern tip of the Baja Peninsula, and their claim to fame is 350 days a year of sunshine. And this is another ironic piece, because
the first time we went there, it was a downpour the whole day. So it wasn't, we got one of those 15 days a year where it rained, and it rained. We're not talking drizzle. It was a downpour.
6 days a year.
6 days. 350. That's 15.
Oh yeah, 15.
15. We should do math. Don't do math.
Don't math online.
We should do.
You're right. Yeah. And the other thing you should know is it is a tender port. So if they do get bad weather or something, that can be canceled because it is tied to tendering.
We've definitely been there before when the waves are quite large and there's been lineup. So I think we'll get into that in a little bit more in a minute. It's also, Land's End, I think is what they call the kind of tip there. That is where the Sea of Cortez meets the Pacific Ocean.
Correct.
Yes. So if you're over at Lovers Beach, Divorce Beach area, that's right where those two meet. And so it's kind of cool. It's actually can get quite wavy in that area as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's kind of some of the good things to know about there. There's lots of excursions there as well, different things like that. Golfing, it's famous for that. And it's usually quite warm. So
very warm. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So let's jump into our kind of first main category.
Yeah.
And that is sailing into Cabo and tendering. So Sailing in is quite beautiful. I'll pop this up here on the screen. So because you don't go right into port, you typically tender out, I want to call it a bay.
I'd call it a bay.
A bay.
I don't know technically.
The ship just kind of, I don't know if they put down their anchors, but they at least put on their motors and stay still in that area, or the ship does turn commonly as well. But it's beautiful sailing in. You'll be able to see Lovers Beach over there. You'll be able to see Pelican Beach. You'll see the Arch when you're sailing in, and Land's End, all that stuff. And then on the other side, you'll see, is it Medano?
Medano Beach.
Medano Beach over there as well. So there's quite a bit that you can see.
And the rock formations are really pretty. So it's, and when we sailed in last time, we came in early in the morning, so the sun was just coming up.
Yeah.
It was,
all the fishing boats were going out in the morning. Yeah, it's beautiful if you're sailing in there in the morning. So I'd recommend if you have a balcony, heading out on your balcony, or you can
go up on the upper deck.
Go on the upper deck if you don't. It's beautiful there.
It's tranquil. It's like really just, it's lovely.
And the same for sailing out. It's definitely a beautiful place to, as you're sailing in. Now that's one picture there. You can also see Lovers Beach from the ship as well as you're sailing in. So the big rock formations are awesome. Now let's jump back out here. I know tendering, we've had different experiences with tendering.
Yeah, and Cabo tends to be a shorter day, and the tendering does take some time. And like I mentioned earlier, it is weather dependent. So the first time we were in Cabo, it poured rain. Like, we're not just like a drizzle, like complete downpour. And then the second time we went, they didn't even know if we were going to be able to go into Cabo, because it was, the waves were too big at first to safely tender. Yeah. And that was quite the experience getting on those tender boats that time. Yeah, the tender boats were really going up and down, and it made it really slow to get into port. We were fine getting on the ship, but if you had any kind of physical like limitations or struggles, it would have been really challenging. I wouldn't have wanted to move a small child or but they were helping. It's not like you're doing it yourself there. But it was kind of like now. So keep that in mind. If the waves are big, they could cancel the port for the day. Absolutely. But it's if you can get into port, it's great. The other thing is, so we got tipped off we were there quite early on our last time we went there. We got tipped off by the staff, go as early as you can, as they'll allow you to get off the ship. So I think it was just after 7 o'clock. We were able to get on the tenders, because they said around like 8 or 9, it is just lined up like crazy. And we got on really quick. But if you are there early, go as early as you can. That is one advantage, though, if you have something planned, is to book your excursion on the ship with one of the early morning sailings, because they will give you priority tender then. Yes, no, that's for sure. If you do an excursion with them, they typically get you off the ship first. So the tender boats themselves, they've got big ones, they've got small ones. These are kind of what if you're on the live stream, not on the podcast, you'll be able to see the image of the tender boat there. You kind of walk down the stairs and they help you onto the ship. It is free of charge. So if you haven't done this before, it is free of charge to get on the tenders. And then it's maybe a 10-minute boat ride 10 minutes. into town. And you can see, even if you're looking at this photo here, there's all the tenders kind of waiting there to pick you up. So it's just one tender after another. And they had, I think, 2 or 3 locations on the ship that they would be picking you up from. So definitely a fun little boat ride as well into town. Yeah, it was. And you dropped off right in the center. So it's really a perk of being in Cabo. Yeah, no, I actually, other than if you have to wait, I do enjoy the little boat ride in. It's quite scenic and fun. You'll often see sea lions and different things, all the fishermen going. And the staff on there were very friendly. They even took a picture of us on the boat. It was fun. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. So, any other thoughts you wanted to say about sailing in and tendering? No, that covers it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's jump over to excursions. So
Mhm.
excursions, there's quite a bit you can do in Cabo.
Mhm.
We realized in putting this together how much we haven't done.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do there.
Yeah.
And I've seen great pictures this week of things like whale watching.
Mhm.
Carl sent us a picture, so or a little
Yeah.
video. So there's some really interesting things you can do
Mhm.
out there. So do you want to dive into one of the ones we've done actually a couple of times?
Yeah, we've done the glass bottom boats. As soon as you get off the tender, you arrive right at a pier, and there's lots of vendors there
Mhm.
offering all sorts of excursions for the day. And one of the popular ones is to take a glass bottom boat, and they go around the rock formations over to Lovers Beach and Pelican Beach and
Land's End.
Land's
You see
End.
the Ark, the sea lions.
And they'll drop you off if you want, or you can just do the little tour and come back. But what you should know is they do barter with this. So
Yeah.
the prices can start quite high, and some people have negotiated really low prices. Both times that we've done it, we've paid $15 a person.
Yes.
I know that you could go lower than that, but
We've heard some people pay 10. We've heard some people pay 30, but $15 seems to be kind of the going rate for this. It's kind of a little fishing boat type of thing. They call it a glass bottom boat.
It's more like
that's your glass bottom both times we've done. So I think if you paid more, you might get a little bit nicer.
I don't know though, because you don't actually see the boat when you pay.
That's true, but I'm talking about like the full glass boats and things, and we'll get to that in a moment. So so there's the boats are very kind of fishing type boat. They have a little ladder on them.
They provide you with life jackets.
Mm-hmm. So the cool thing about that $15 though excursion, they do take you on maybe a 20-minute tour. They'll go to the arches, the different rocks, and we'll get to that in a second. I'll show you pictures of that. But they also will drop you off at a beach if you would like to go swimming at Lovers Beach or Pelican Beach.
Yeah, Pelican's the snorkeling.
And then they'll come back and pick you up. So here's Pelican Beach. We'll bring that up here. So Pelican Beach is the one that's probably the most popular for snorkeling, and it's a fair bit calmer than Lovers Beach. So we'll get into Lovers Beach in a minute, but it's beautiful there. There's a rock formation. 2 times ago we were there, people were jumping off the rock formation, and which looked really cool, kind of like a cliff jump, maybe from 15 feet high. This time the rock formation was covered in sea lions. So I don't know if you want to go. I wouldn't go climb between the sea lions and jump over there. But the Pelican Beach is really nice, and then from there you'll get to see the arches. You can even see the Scooby-Doo rock over here, and it's they usually, the tour guides or the boat operators are kind of funny as well. They'll make crack jokes and
they tell you stuff about the area and point out different things of interest.
For sure. And you'll also see lots of sea lions. There's a little rock here that's covered in sea lions and things as well. So really, really neat that way. I think it's a bargain for an excursion.
Absolutely, for $15.
Yeah, it's a bargain, and there's vendors, like we said, all over the place doing that. So I think it's great.
I just have a tip for that though. I would highly recommend that you go first thing in the morning, because they do drop you off, and then they're going and running other excursions. So if you're like, oh, pick me up in an hour, it might be an hour and a half or even a little bit longer, because it's depending on when they've completed their trip and then they make another round.
Yeah.
And both times that we have done this, it's been a little longer than our time that we asked to be picked up, which we had left a lot of time to be safe by.
For sure.
So I wouldn't recommend it at the end of your day, because
I would say go do it first thing, and then if you're going to go into town, do that after,
so that you can relax and not feel stressed about, are we gonna miss the boat or the ship?
So they'll take you, like we said, past the arch, everything like that. Land's End, you'll see lots of pelicans and things down here.
It's really pretty, especially first thing in the morning. It was, because we did this early, it was it was impressive.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then we chose to get dropped off at Lovers Beach. So at Lovers Beach, and I'll put this back up here. Lovers Beach is a gorgeous beach. Great views of the ship from there because they're out in the bay. You can also walk over to Divorce Beach. So there's a little walk or kind of a gap
mound,
a mound in the or gap in the rocks. You can walk over to Divorce Beach, which is absolutely beautiful. However, it is extremely dangerous. Do not go swimming here.
They tell you not to. And also, there have been some sad incidents of people just even walking along the beach here, and riptides have come and pulled them out to sea. And so just extreme caution, and know that the sea is not very kind on Divorce Beach, and be very, very careful.
Yeah, I would say the photos don't do it justice of how big the waves were.
It's mesmerizing to sit there and watch. The waves, though, like, it was really...
It's worth going to look at, but be very careful.
Yeah.
And I should say be very careful. Whoa,
wrong photo.
Wrong photo. Be very careful over at Lovers Beach as well.
Yes.
Because, do you want to share our experience there?
Well, first I want to say, like, when we were at Lovers Beach the last time, the water was much higher.
Yes, much higher.
Much higher. Yeah. And it was... and this time it was much lower, and as we know with the ocean conditions can change rapidly, and we went out swimming and the waves weren't that...
They were like waist high.
And I still kind of nervous because, you know, I know the ocean can be scary at times, but we had a great big wave all of a sudden come, and I could feel it like sucking, and I was trying to run back to land, and there was no getting away from it. And it was it actually kind of rocked me a little bit because I felt nervous.
It went from waist height to well over our head. I would say probably a 10-foot wave from the sand to the top of it, and it crashed right on top of us.
Yeah.
And
there was nobody else around us at the time. And so I would just recommend that if you are going swimmers at Lovers Beach, that you are a very confident swimmer, and maybe that you have a group of people with you.
Yes. That's where you lost your sunglasses. So your prescription sunglasses came off during that wave.
I just realized that it was a little more than I had bargained for there. So
yeah. Then we saw the exact same thing happen about half an hour later to another group of people as well.
Yeah, some people went out swimming to check on the person. Yeah, it just made me feel, and maybe the sea was rougher that day. I'm not sure compared to our other trip because we didn't experience that before. But just be very cautious and very careful. Yeah.
So again, that calmer experience would have been over at Pelican Beach. It still can get wavy there, but there's a lot more people snorkeling and swimming.
Did you have photos of getting on and off of the boat?
No, I don't.
So I just want to also talk about getting on and off the boat at Lovers Beach. You actually just jump off and into the water. And we talked to a woman who had been on our cruise. She trying to get back onto the boat after leaving the beach. Her legs got really beat up. She was all bruised. Yeah. She struggled to get back on the boat because
the waves were big. Yeah.
The waves were big, and it was hard to get on and off. So I mean, her injuries were minor, but
there isn't a dock, so the boat kind of pulls up as far as it can, and then you jump in or you climb back out. Now, later in the day, there are locals that do come and help you onto the boat. They do work for tips, which is well worth the help. But
don't be startled because they will ask for your bag. They'll say, "Hand me your bag." And the first time we went there, that caught me off guard, right? Because I'm like, I don't give anybody my. I took a backpack, but and they're asking, give me your hand, give me your bag, because they're helping you in.
Yeah.
They're very, very helpful.
Yeah.
But they do expect tips.
Yes. And they basically are timing getting on the boat with the wave. So you have to be quick. It can be a little intimidating and challenging. Yeah. So just be cognizant of that if you're going to do that. Any other thoughts on that before we go on to the next one?
We're going to talk more I was gonna just mention we're gonna talk about Pelican Beach more, or
That's later in
okay.
the yeah.
Okay.
So if you're looking for more of a um excursion that you can see a little bit more in a glass boat, they do have clear boats as well. This one says clear boat on the side. If you do Google search clear boat, there'll be all sorts of vendors that come up, and you might get a little bit better of a view in the glass bottom rather than what we had.
If you're booking a glass bottom boat, and this could be really confusing because you might see this clear boat go past,
Yeah,
and then you go and book a glass bottom boat. They're not the same thing.
Yeah.
So the clear boat looks really cool.
Yeah, my nephew was just in Cabo a couple weeks ago, and they did the clear boat, and the pictures looked really cool. So
I think he said he paid around $30 a person.
yeah, I don't recall
They
what he paid.
negotiated down, but
so you will pay more for like a clear boat like that. Sorry that the picture's crooked. We were in a boat, and it was Anyway, but it's kind of a cool thing. I can see if I can zoom in on that a little bit so you can see it better. But that's the clear boat for sure. So that's one option. There's also all sorts of other things there. There's pirate ship excursions, pirate ship whale watching excursions. Now, I should mention all the excursions we're talking about today are private excursions. Of course, you can book all the excursions on the ship as well. And I should say, before you book any of these excursions, double check the time on them, because there'll be lots of people selling excursions. And because Cabo is not just for cruisers, people go there on holidays. If you book a fishing excursion on shore, they might be gone all day. So you want to make sure that you're picking one that works with the cruise that you're on.
And double check that your ship time is the same time as port time, or know the difference, because sometimes the ship and the ports are different times, and you don't want to miss the boat during that. Could be a very easy mix-up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Very easy mix-up.
Yeah, no, for sure. So there's the different pirate ship excursions. There's lots of fishing excursions. Let me pull this up here. So there's a big marina that you kind of walk around on a walkway, and you'll see lots of people selling fishing excursions. And I would double check the length of those if you are wanting to do a fishing excursion. Probably go do that right away.
Fishing is big in Cabo. It's a big part of their culture. They have lots of, you even see a lot of those sun shirts and stuff. Like for years, people have had the long white Cabo shirts. I love Cabo. Yeah,
Cabo is beautiful for sure.
I just want to go back.
Some other ones, there's of course whale watching. I know I'd already mentioned Carl sent a video, and they got pretty close to some whales. So
I'm like, I want to go. That just made me like go, I want to go back to Cabo and see those whales. It's now on my bucket list. Thank you, Carl, for sharing that with us. Yeah,
no, for sure. A lot of people go do swim with the dolphins, as well as you can go learn to, I thought this was really cool. It's a shipping container that you learn to dive in. So this is over at Cabo Adventures. If you walk on the boardwalk, you'll see Cabo Adventures. That's where they have swimming with dolphins there. They have all sorts of excursions. We've never booked with them, but if you do a quick Google search for Cabo Adventures, they have all sorts of excursions there as well.
It's easy to find. You'll walk right past it on the boardwalk.
They also do camel rides, and they do zip lines, ATVs, scuba diving, like we're showing here. So lots of stuff you can find over on Cabo Adventures.
I'm going to need to go back multiple times.
You want to go zip lining?
I want to try everything.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's all we have for excursions. Any other thoughts on that, or?
No, there's so much to do, and it's in a beautiful, beautiful port.
Yeah, one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it's probably my favorite on the Pacific side anyway, for sure.
Yeah, it feels very resort, and I don't know. It's with all that sunshine, how can you go wrong?
Well, we went wrong.
Once. One rainy day.
So let's quickly talk about beaches. I know we've talked about a few of these already, but we'll quickly just go over them. Actually, we're gonna back right up because I wanted to show this.
Yes.
So
this is an example of what you might see in Cabo for pricing. So
let me zoom in on this here. So this is from Cabo Activities, just to give you an idea here. So glass bottom boats, they're saying $20 with a promo of $7. I'm not sure how their promo works, but
and I don't know where that goes to.
Yeah.
I just happened to, never worked with this company or anything. We just snapped a photo of this on the boardwalk.
So yeah, so you could get an idea. So diving to tank, I'm assuming that's like, I'm not sure, teaching you to dive or something, $125. They have car rentals there, $75. Booze cruise, $55. Camel rides, $130. Sunset sailing, $120. Whale shark tour, $200. And Todos Santos tour, I'm not sure what that is $90. So just to give you an idea of some of the pricing there that you might expect. So let's jump back over. So we were going to talk about beaches, and I know we already talked about some of these. So do you want to start out with this, Andrea? We'll
with
talk
Pelican
Beach. Yeah.
So Pelican Beach is one of the first beaches that you pass when you do that glass bottom boat. And this is where the snorkeling is. Now, I really want to try Pelican Beach maybe next time, because it looked far more calm, the waves, and it looked much easier to get on and off the boat there.
Yes, people were kind of more able to, I don't want to say jump in and out of the boat, but the waves were definitely not as big there, so it's easier to get on and off the boat.
We're gonna just pack our own actually snorkeling gear and go there. I know that you can rent snorkeling gear, but I'm not sure if it's available on the beach or if you have to get it at the pier. You have to check on that. Yeah,
double check so you don't get there without your gear. So so that's Pelican Beach, and again, that's beautiful. And our driver, when we did our excursion, would have dropped us off there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's Pelican Beach, and then we'll jump over back to Lovers Beach. Oh, this is Pelican Beach as well. Lots of fish there.
Now, I should mention though, they had just thrown a little bit of food in the water to attract all the fish, but you can see there's a lot of fish in the area. These fish came right up to the boat. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. And then Lovers Beach, here's people getting on and off the boat. So you can see right in this photo, if you're watching on the stream, that it's fairly calm, but then waves come in and the boat does jump. And if you actually go over to the YouTube channel and watch our vlog from that day, there is some videos of people trying to get on and off.
And if you are watching this stream on YouTube, you can see we have a picture of about 3 locals that are helping people getting on and off the ship. Yeah. Or so the boat. The boat. The boat.
So yeah, Lovers Beach, a great option. Even if you don't want to swim there, it's a beautiful sandy beach if you want to just go lay in the sun for the day.
Yes, yeah. Just be able to hop on and off the boat.
Yeah. Another popular beach, Medano Beach.
Or is it Medano?
Medano. So this photo is taken from the other side of the ship, from the arches, and you can see there's lots of. There might be multiple names for this beach depending on which part, but there's lots of resorts over here. There's restaurants, there's bars. A lot of people will go there, and
so you can walk there, but a lot of people choose to take the water taxi over there.
Yeah. So for walking, I just did a quick Google search. So it was about a 30-minute walk according to Google, or 1.5 miles. So you do have to walk the whole boardwalk or walkway there.
Beautiful, but really warm walk.
Yes.
It like you really feel the intensity of the sun.
Yeah. It is. So you're right. People will take the water taxis over there and spend the day buying, beverages and food and just hanging out in front of one of the restaurants or resorts, that sort of thing. So that's one of them. And then the other one we wanted to talk about was so as you're heading right by the dock where you get off your tender, there's also a little beach called Playa Coral Negro. We have not done this beach, but it is kind of a really short walk.
And I'm actually really hoping that somebody watching has gone there and can tell us about it. Do you recommend swimming there? Are there facilities there? I'd like to know more, because it's so close to the dock. It seems so easy just to go there, but I haven't heard a lot about it. So if you know something, please tell us. I'd like to know. Yeah. So
Playa Coral Negro, about 5 to 10 minute walk from the cruise dock. So more towards the arches direction. So I don't know. Maybe we'll walk over there next time.
I'm very curious.
And see what it looks like. Again, there's lots of other different beaches and areas there, but those would be the main ones that people talk about in the Cabo area. All right, let's go jump over to our last topic: shopping, restaurants, and the boardwalk. Shopping. So there is a lot of vendors in Cabo. So when you get off the ship, you're going to see a lot of pharmacies. You're going to see a lot of souvenir shops, as well as restaurants. So right near the cruise dock where they drop you off, you'll see Senor Frogs. Again, there's different bars, Tequila Shark, all sorts of different things that you can stop in and get some food if you like. Again, souvenir shops. I actually went and rewatched our vlog last night, and a lot of the like t-shirts were kind of that $12 to $15 range. You know, you can get hot sauces, your
mugs, shot glasses,
all the typical type of souvenirs. So you can grab all of that there. And what's the stuff you use for vanilla? You can get vanilla and different things like that.
And lots of hats for sale. And I highly recommend not losing your sunglasses to the ocean like I did, and having a hat, because the sun, like I said, is really intense.
Yeah. I do want to say we've got a few comments here. So Apelia is saying hello from Vegas. Hello, Apelia. I think that's how you say the name. And we've also got SF Love Boat Cruising. The boat ride to the beaches was the best deal and the most fun. And I would agree. Yeah. It's a really good deal at like what we paid, $15. Some people pay even less. So a really good deal for that. So.
You know, I didn't talk about this though. It's a really good deal, but make sure you've got like some water or some beverages with you, because there's nothing for sale over there. You're on your own. You're just in the sand.
I know we're kind of backing up here. There's also no place to change.
We discovered that the first time.
So we went in our swimsuits.
The old school hold the towel method against the rocks.
So, but we'll jump back over to the shopping and restaurant. So beautiful boardwalk there as well that you can walk all the way down. So along the boardwalk, you're going to find the Cabo sign. So it's kind of like there's a big shopping mall area. It's probably maybe halfway or a little bit further. There's again lots of different places to take photos. So there's kind of an art gallery, not gallery, but art pieces with all sorts of surfboards. There's a big marlin you can take photos with, the Cabo sign. So it's even if you're not doing an excursion, it's worth getting off the ship and walking the boardwalk over to the shopping mall and back.
It feels very safe, and because it's very compact, the tourist area, so you feel like you're following. It's very clear what you should do. You feel like you walk along the boardwalk, along the marina. You can easily stroll there and back and have a lovely day.
Yeah. There. So this is kind of what the boardwalk looks like. Quite a wide path along the marina, and it's kind of a big horseshoe, I would say. Like you're walking around the marina, and the marina is huge. So basically, the route to Medano Beach is a mile and a half, and that basically is the whole boardwalk. So it's quite a walk there. Here's a good picture of it for those of you who are watching on the stream. So it's kind of there's all sorts of jogs and jags, and you walk all the way around. So the tender dock is right at the bottom.
I'd recommend when you see this sign in Cabo just to snap a photo of it, because it makes it easy to know where things are at, and then you have it on your phone with you.
For sure. And it also you'll see this along the boardwalk. You can you'll know where a lot of the restaurants are and different things, and it actually points out where some of the Cabo signs are and all sorts of stuff. Cabo Wabo, different restaurants. And I noticed there's we'll get to the shopping mall in a minute, but there's definitely a lot you can do there. And again, lots of things to take photos of, the lighthouse and different things along the way. Let me see what I have here.
I'm just going to interrupt, because in Cabo is where I saw that great big sea turtle. swimming.
Oh yeah.
Like it came up right along the cruise ship, and so there's like the sea life, and like I don't know, Cabo is just magical with
for sure.
Just
And
amazing.
So when we were sailing down, it was not far from Cabo where we saw tons of dolphins following the ship, as well as a whale, and one of the dolphins even did a flip.
Yeah.
So that was when we were sailing kind of past the Cabo area on our way to Puerto Vallarta, but definitely a lot of
it's amazing. Yeah. Really amazing.
So Tina Girl Travels. Welcome, Tina Girl Travels. We're glad you joined us today. How do
you mention the jellyfish?
Did you mention the jellyfish? We had a problem with. Oh, okay. So they had a problem with jellyfish in the past at Lovers Beach. So no, we did not mention that. But yeah, again, I think, if I remember correctly, there was lots of jellyfish at Lovers Beach when they had been there. Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah,
that's not good at
all. But definitely a nice place, and I don't remember seeing any on our trips, but I know watch for them just so you don't get stung.
I maybe ask to I you know what, I found the people working who do the glass bottom boats. You can ask them questions like that, like how's the water today for swimming. You can ask about the jellyfish because they're going to tell you, because they're happy to sell you the tour, and you might choose to stay out of the water.
And this is an interesting one. SF Love Boat Cruising, they did the beach excursion and it wasn't worth it because it was the same beach as the boats went to. So that's one thing is we've heard that quite a bit. People will book excursions on the ship and then it's significant, like the excursion will go to the same place and paying multiple times more, especially for some of those beach excursions.
Thank you for that, SF Love Boat Cruising, because it's very true. And Cabo is pretty compact, so I feel comfortable doing an excursion on my own, because you're not heading. If I was heading far out and I knew there was a chance of not getting back on time, I would definitely book with the cruise ship to make sure that they'll wait for you. But when you're just going to these little beaches, again, leave lots of extra time so that you can get back, but
don't cut it close. Nobody wants to be the pier runner. That's
no, then you're waiting, hoping the tender will still come for you.
We aim to usually be back at the ship. We try to play it safe. We're usually try to be back at least an hour before the final time. So if anything goes wrong, we have an extra hour.
And it does, the lineup gets a little longer too at the end of the day, waiting for a tender back, because a lot of people are doing that as well.
Yeah. A couple other things on the boardwalk there, and then if there's any other comments, we'll get into those. So along the boardwalk, there is a tourist assistance center. So you can go in there if you do have questions. And there is a high-end or a big shopping mall.
There's
a movie theater in there. There's Liverpool, which is kind of like a big, I don't know, JCPenney type of store.
A big department store.
There's some pretty high-end stores. There's Chanel, there's Tommy Bahama, and all sorts of stores like that. So if you aren't into sun,
or if it's pouring rain,
a
couple of days a year they get.
It's about a mile from the dock, so it is a bit of a walk.
There was a movie theater in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they play. I'm curious if they play movies in English or Spanish, though.
That's a good question. I don't know. But I know a lot of people don't love the sun and they might just want to go for a walk, and that would be a good thing to just go hang out there. We've actually gone in there to get beverages and to cool down because of the air conditioning, because it's been really hot. So plus we've also changed in the restrooms in there.
Yes.
So.
And there's also Starbucks, not in the mall, but along the boardwalk.
Yeah, so kind of behind the mall area, there's a road. And again, you're going to find lots of restaurants back there. There is a Senor Frogs. There's a Hard Rock Cafe. So if you want to grab your Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt, or there's a Starbucks back there. And that's right behind the Plaza Bonitas. You'll see a Plaza Bonitas on the boardwalk. It's right behind that. And if you're like us, we like to collect Starbucks mugs. So we got this Los Cabos mug there. We like to buy souvenirs that we actually use.
Yeah.
So we like to buy Starbucks mugs and different things that we can actually use up. So
I'm curious what other people also, what do you collect anything from the ports, or like we start getting some magnets?
If there's like tea towels or things like that.
I really like the tea towels. We got a really nice one in Alaska. And so it's something that I use in my kitchen, but I can't find tea towels in warmer climates that like say like Cabo or
no, they were easy to find in Alaska, but not in Mexico.
So I like to find those everyday items that you're going to use anyways. And then, you know, when you use them, you think of your vacation. So I don't know.
You don't want to buy a sombrero and wear that back? So
we don't get that much sun around here.
So other than that is did you have any other things to say about the shopping, restaurants, and boardwalks, Andrea?
No, it's just really nice. It's a beautiful town to visit. It's easy to navigate. It's low stress, easy. The people are friendly. Like even when we chatted to people that were doing the fishing, and it was like midday, and we're like, oh no, we can't even think of it because we're going on a cruise ship. Getting back on, they're just happy to talk to us about Cabo and make small talk. So really enjoy. It's a highlight for me.
So love boat cruising. I found a convenience store to get soda, etc. I would agree. A little bit closer to the port, it's a little bit pricier, or to the dock. Actually, we found right behind the shopping mall, where kind of by the Hard Rock Cafe, there was an OXXO store. It's kind of like a 7-Eleven, and it's probably $1 for a soda or a water, or even less. So some really good deals in there, or 20 pesos for a bottle of Coca-Cola or something like that. So
thank you for that, because I really find that especially in that heat, it's important that you stop and you pick up some beverages and stay hydrated, so you don't get dehydrated and end up sick with a headache.
So she said, or I shouldn't say she, I don't know, love boat cruising. Cabo is my favorite, and it's one of our favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Thank you.
So so other than that, any other comments out there about Cabo? And we'd love to hear about them. It's did you have any other thoughts, Andrea, before we wind this down?
No, it's just take me back, hon.
We need to go back soon. And you were just telling me this morning that you would actually like to fly down and stay there for a week, and just going through all this, we realized how much stuff we haven't done. So we would like to just go down, and
you can't do it all in one day.
No, you can't.
Like, I would like to go spend a day in Medano Beach. I'd like to try out the other beaches, and I'd like to go whale watching. I want to go snorkeling. I want to do it all. So I may have to just go and stay a week.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll just wind it down there. Thank you everyone for joining us here on the cruising show on Northern Viking Explorer. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and you can follow us on your favorite podcasting platform as well under the cruising show. So go check that out. You can listen to us in your car as well. So thank you everyone. We're going to take off from there, and have a great day. Bye-bye.